Hey, what's up, guys? This is gonna be the likely most anticlimactic ending to a series ever. But this thing, we've driven it before, but this ought to be a legitimate run here. At least I'm gonna try to drive the car without any fear of anything breaking. Again, this is a four-wheel drive RC10 conversion. Shown this thing so many times. I love it. I hate it. I want to be done with this. I want to move on with my life here. What I've got left of it, anyways. I'm struggling to see. It's kind of sunny out today, but we got steel outdrives and aluminum pulley on both diffs now. That went fine for the most part. The diff action is smooth. The only thing that kind of screwed up is when I was milling those notches or grooves for the dog bone pins. I had my mill or the chuck on my mill set up a little crooked, so some of them are a little off center, but it still works fine. There's just a little more room than you might need, but it's not going to hurt anything. What else did I do? While I was at it, I added this little spring here so that you can try to maintain constant tension on the belt instead of just setting it and then letting the chassis kind of flex. It's kind of something you got to consider for this, because that thing flexes and then the belt loosens up. So that's an attempt at fixing that. Most of the kind of pulley tensioners would have some kind of spring mechanism there to try to deal with that. Not just chassis flex, but just the belt stretching and all that, I guess. That new diff went in okay back there. This is probably a situation that would require some attention if we were going to try to move forward with offering a conversion. I would try to put the original slip setup there back on, or something similar, to scoot this spur back in towards the gearbox, and then do away with this little slipper setup here on the pinion, because I can't put a gear cover on there. It's just way too far out. I was thinking, I'll still slide it on there. I'll just do a cutout for the pinion, but it requires that the spur gear be pretty snug up against that wall there in order to work. Battery, that little corner there, it's not quite high enough. It rubs a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. Underneath, she's still in pretty good shape, man. Let's see what it does. Go ahead and fire it up here. It's not blazing fast. I did have it out early this morning, at least on the street. I wanted to give it a little bit of a run before we came out here, and something silly was keeping it from going. Sorry about that, guys. Let me slide that in there. I'll at least smoke checked it. Get that guy in there. Dude, this is the first time I actually drove it with the body on and the wing. Dang, that looks sweet. So, not suggesting anyone do this, but I'm just super happy with how this turned out. And I can already say I'm willing to help anybody who would want to do this. I don't know how much help, but let's see. Let's all be disappointed together. That little slip pinion, it may disappoint us a little bit out here, not sure. Because like say it ran okay on the street. I think I need to hold on 1 second. Which way is it going? Need to trim the steering out a little bit. As I ran the thing on the workbench a little bit, I just felt that transmission really loosen up. So it really, I was kind of concerned at first. It felt a little tight, but man, now it's pretty easy to turn everything. You know, I guess the belts are all seated nice, and everybody's happy together. I don't hear any belt slipping or any kind of strange noises yet, so that's a good sign. Man, let me try to shut up for a second. Again, not super fast, but none of my cars are they? I'm pretty happy with this, man. This just doesn't feel like my normal mod that I can't actually drive. This is still that stock motor. Every lucky kid got in there. Oh shit. I don't think I can go backwards with this thing. Maybe I can. Stock motor that comes in the box. Probably wasn't ideal for a four-wheel drive setup to begin with, but seems to be doing all right. I was gonna look online to see how much a stock RC10 weighs, you know, to kind of compare to see how much weight I've added to this thing. It's probably a considerable amount. I mean, there's, you know, a lot of extra stuff in there in the car now that normally isn't there. I don't have an accurate scale at home, so yeah, can't really say, but I guess a four-wheel drive would typically be a little heavier than a two-wheel drive car. Man, this thing is actually doing really well. I don't notice anything weird. Nothing's locked up. I know this is probably kind of a boring video, but you guys are used to that. Yeah, man, I just got to really thinking about, like, what have I done here now? You know, okay, I think I can say finished the project finally. But now what do I really got here? I got a four-wheel drive car now. It's not as if you can say, hey, that thing handles better than a standard RC10, right? And still go. You're not going to drive it on a track. You're not going to be competing with two-wheel drive RC10, you're gonna be racing four-wheel drive cars, right? So you know, it's not an RC10 now, it's something else. The other thing I kind of got hung up on is like this kind of conversion sort of, there was a time whenever this would have been something you really might have wanted, because I think when the original RC10 first came out, four-wheel drive 1/10 scale buggies were just sort of becoming a thing. You know, I know there were some early four-wheel drives out there, but they weren't like necessarily, I guess, maybe racing cars, let's say. And so you know, it would have been kind of cool to take an RC10 back in the day and convert it and be able to drive it as a four-wheel drive or compete with it. But like, are we moving slow here? No, we're still doing all right. But that day is long past. I mean, the only thing cool now would be if you had an original MIP kit, or if anybody else made a conversion kit, but this isn't that. I mean, and also I would get destroyed racing a Cat or probably an Optima or anything like that with this. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know that what did I really do here? Not sure. But it's gonna go up on the shelf now, and I'm gonna call it good. And you guys, you saw it drive. It's gonna maybe finish out a battery without breaking. That doesn't mean it's you know, a reliable setup, anything like that, but at least I think we got a solid run. It doesn't have a lot of steering, and I may keep working on that a little bit, but yeah, I think we're gonna call that a day. And yeah, I feel for, you know, for any of you guys, like I say, interested in kind of moving forward on something like this, if you think you'd like to do something similar to what I've done, feel free to reach out, just comment, and then we can start talking kind of offline. But otherwise, I think this is probably the last of these four-wheel drive RC10 videos, and I appreciate you guys for kind of being supportive and not making fun of me, because I don't think this is really a great idea, to be honest, and especially with the money I've spent to make it happen. Yeah, I wouldn't advise it. Certainly, there's got to be a better way. Using the Schumacher diffs seems kind of interesting. That would have been probably a much easier path forward. But oh yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing. This car, despite all the shit that I've done to it, I got all the parts to put it right back to two-wheel drive. The only change I've actually made to the thing is cutting that little path for the belt to go through in the rear bulkhead, or shock mount, or whatever you want to call it. So you still got a two-wheel drive RC10 here if you want it. I don't, and well, my plan moving forward is to get a hold of another, you know, an original RC10 and not mess with it, and sit it next to this one on the shelf. And I kind of like the fact that you almost can't really tell that this thing is four-wheel drive. One more thing I was thinking about this morning was that, like, given how delicate the front end is and all that, I definitely would keep with the small or narrow front wheels. You know, I don't know that I don't know how well it would tolerate some fat boys, like a matching set with the rears or anything like that, although that would look kind of cool. I would probably advise against it. I think there'd be less wear and less stress on the front end just having these narrow fronts. But all right, dudes, you guys enjoy your weekend. Happy Mother's Day, Mother, Father, and talk to you again soon. All right, y'all take care. Later.